Now, after the result between Atleti and Man City, which saw City progress in the Champions League, Marca and As had their own thoughts on it. But the English press, they had very different views on what they saw from Atleti on the night. So you just saw the words like mad, bad, but look at this from Marca. Heart without reward. As for Diario As, they're saying, well, very little was missing. And as you saw, that is a stark contrast between the Spanish press and what we were seeing from the British press. Well, we decided to hear a little bit from our own British pundits. Here's what they had to say about the results.
I'm absolutely delighted that they are out.
That at the end from Atletico Madrid was a disgrace. They played so well in the game, Atletico Madrid. They don't need all that rubbish, all those antics.
Some of the stuff we saw towards the end of the game, it's not what you want to see on a football pitch. I can't believe that they didn't go over to the Atletico bench and celebrate in their faces and give it to them, because the way that they were treated there, I thought was an absolute liberty.
They went about the whole thing the wrong way, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought I was watching the Pied Piper. At the end of the game, they've had maybe 2 chances maximum in 2 games, but yet the stadium, to a man and woman and child, are on their feet with their scarves in the air, singing and clapping Simeone like he's some sort of messiah. Give a break.
Simeone has this crowd believing that they are wronged, that the officials are against them, that everybody's against them, that La Liga's against them, that UEFA's against them, that everything's against them.
The last, 10 minutes, you can't condone that. And Simeone's got to take some responsibility, because he seemed to be encouraging some behaviour. It's not a thing that you want to see from a top-level coach, an elite manager.
They're a mirror image of their manager, I'm afraid. And for what they've spent, I think they should be better than that. So I, for one, am absolutely delighted they're going no further in this competition.
Luis, are these guys missing the point? Is this what Atleti are all about, and they should know this?
No, I don't think so. I think that Atletico Madrid is much more than that. I understand that when you are not around, when you don't feel what this crowd means, his team and the atmosphere that they create, and of course that we are talking about a team that has to fight every single year against the 2 giants. They are Real Madrid and Barcelona, and when they are getting closer, there is something always happen. I understand that a lot of people doesn't agree the way that Simeone manage, or the Simeone make their players to play or to go on the field. But at the end, there are many ways of playing, and there are many different situations that you can see and try to find what is your goal. And if we don't talk about, and I'm not agree what happened at the end of the game. I'm not talking about that. You can do whatever it takes. I understand the frustration, the heat of the moment drive you to commit and make so many errors or mistakes. I'm not agree with that, with Savic, over Salico, the images, the footages we've seen. But I don't agree with the people that is trying to condemn everything because Atletico Madrid didn't manage well the last 10 minutes of the game. I think they tried to go through. Pep Guardiola said the same about Manchester City. We couldn't do anything. We have to hold at the back. We have to hold Atletico Madrid because they were better than us in those minutes. So in the end, you try to get that result. And Atletico Madrid try until the last moment. And I think that, they tried. They are out at the moment and people start complaining and talking about Simeone. But we have to give the credit to Simeone that in 10 years, he managed to win 2 Champions League finals, to win La Liga in 3 occasions. And that's massive here in Spain.
Frank, what did you make of it all?
Well, in a neutral point of view, I enjoyed the game from the first to the last minute. And it reminded me the time that I was playing football. The time where you didn't have VAR, where, players like Craig Burley, players like Denis Suarez, players like myself, were going for it, like 120%. I remember the hate that you could feel when Manchester United and Arsenal were playing, when Roy Keane was facing Vieira, all nasty things that we saw. I think the English press forgot all of that. Or maybe we are in a modern football where everything has to be clean. Of course, I condemn what Felipe did, and he deserved the second yellow card when he kicked, after tackling, he kicked Foden. Of course, I condemn what Savic did. But it's part of our football, and it was clearly what we saw every Sunday in the Premier League, or in the Liga, or in the Serie A, or in the League One, in all Europe. So we just forgot that. Atleti were facing one of the best teams, if it's not the best team in the world, I would say with Liverpool. Of course, they have a good side, but you have to fight with your tools. They're so much united with their coach and the fans that they almost created a miracle. Manchester City defended for 45 minutes in the second half like I never seen them being obliged to defend. So Atletico almost got what they were looking for. They missed it. They're out of the competition. Some people are going to be punished for their behavior. But as a neutral point of view, I enjoyed the intensity of the game.
Okay, Shaka, who are you siding with? Are you siding with Luis and Frank, or are you going with the likes of Jolyon Lescott, Rio Ferdinand, Stevie, Craig?
Listen, to Frank's point, I didn't enjoy the game as a spectacle. I think it had you on edge because of how narrow City's lead were, of how defensive Atletico Madrid continued to be, and you just wondered if they'd get something on the break and how that would change the entire game. But yesterday, Gemma was talking about Atletico recognizing their own vulnerabilities. And this is my issue with Atletico Madrid, in that I find they play the game not to lose, as opposed to win. And I just feel, as much as this team has taken on Diego Simeone's image in how they play the game, and that siege mentality that he embeds in them and in the fans, which is easier to do at a club like Atletico Madrid, in a league like La Liga, where you have Barcelona and Real Madrid. It's easier to say that everybody's against us when you rattle in the cages of the two Spanish big boys. You saw, I've been critical of Jose Mourinho and how he has used that siege mentality in the past, and it works. But at some point, you have to move past it. It worked at Chelsea because Chelsea hadn't won the league for 50 years. He came in with that at Real Madrid. That only lasts so long because it is Real Madrid. Similarly with Manchester United. After 10 years and the amount of money that Diego Simeone has spent, you are waiting for Atletico Madrid to shed that siege mentality, woe be us. It's way about them. And so to see them, after all this time, still put up that kind of a front, that negative front, is hard to accept. But the truth is, on the balance of play, on coming into this, you think City should walk away with it easily, and it wasn't. So as a fan, you applaud it. As a neutral, I'm not sure how you continue to endure it.
Jules, where do you stand on it all?
I mean, this is not my kind of football. This is not my cup of tea. I think El Cholo thinks that this is how they have to play to be able to beat a team like City. I disagree. I think he's got enough talent, certainly attacking-wise, to play in a different way and cause problems for a team like City. I would have really liked to see them more attacking from the first leg to the second leg, and not just in the last 20 minutes, really, of that second leg. But this is what he believes in. He had a plan. The plan didn't work out. Okay, he's going to try again next season, and he's going to do the same. I understand the relationship that Luis explained really well between the fans and El Cholo, and this idolation that they have for him. He's almost like a guru there because he brought them so much. And I think they like suffering. Atletico fans have suffered so many years before he arrived that I think they like suffering. And they don't mind their team defending and digging deep and having that sort of character and that personality. And this is great. If that's what they like, this is great. Personally, I would love to see Griezmann attacking more, Joao Felix not being on his own up front, trying to control the ball against 4 defenders. I would like to see more of that, but this is not his style. This is not his philosophy. That's fine. This is why he does what he wants.
Go on, Luis.
Can I say something? I understand that it's not the most beautiful part of football. It's not the best way of watching. We all enjoy Liverpool playing and the City playing when they are so dazzling and beautiful. But we see Real Madrid in the semi-final of Champions League. And not long ago, they were defending. They didn't have a shot on target against Paris Saint-Germain. And in the second game, for 45, 50 minutes, they didn't have a shot on target. And suddenly, bam, they decided to start going forward. We are talking about Real Madrid. And for 20 minutes, they work. It went go forward, they score goals because they have a fantastic player like Isco Benzema, and they ended the tie. And that's it. And we have to agree with that, with Real Madrid going this way, because I think it's exactly the same what Atletico Madrid tried. but didn't work. In the first game, they defended and they conceded a goal, exactly like Real Madrid. The second tie, they try, they start moving forward. At the end, it wasn't enough. It was a tie. Didn't work. They had the chances, but didn't have Benzema to score in the goals for Atletico Madrid. But I don't think, at the end, I'm not talking about the last 10 minutes when everything went crazy because of the frustration of not getting the goal. But at the end, it's exactly the same. And now we are going to say that Real Madrid is one of the best teams because of that performance? I don't think so, because they didn't play well either. But the result is there. So no one is going to talk about the first game of Paris Saint-Germain. No one is going to talk about the first 45 minutes of the second game. They're going to talk about the Real Madrid is in the semifinals. And that's pure Simeone. I'm not talking about how we play. I'm not talking about what happened. I'm talking about being in the semifinal. And this time, he goes short and he's not going to be there.
But to that point, and I'm with Jules on this. Listen, I understand that that's how Real Madrid got through the tie against PSG. But I don't feel that that's Real Madrid's default position, that they want to defend, that they go into games thinking we're going to play for a 0-0 here up until the 89th minute. Whereas you get that feeling with Atletico Madrid. And time again, or every so often, you see Atletico have incredible players, and you see them play an attacking brand of football. And then all of a sudden, for example, they would start the season playing this attacking brand of football, and you love what you're seeing. And then the first bad result, Diego Simeone regresses into who he always is. This defensive style of football, regardless of the opponent, regardless of whether we're talking City, Liverpool, or Getafe. As soon as he has one bad result in playing attacking football, you see this negative side to him come out. And for me, I just think that is too fragile an existence for a club like Atletico Madrid. That as soon as one thing goes off, doesn't work, that's who you end up being. Or you go back to that default position. I understand that sometimes you come into games and the opponent just pins you back and you cannot figure a way out. And you have to kind of defend and try to play your way into the game. But that can't be your starting point. That can't be your default position.
Frank?
The thing is that I think the comment of Jules and Shaka are a little bit unfair in a way that in the first game, the first leg, yeah, of course, 5-0, they came to defend, and I agree. Even the first half, they didn't know how to cope with Manchester City. When you see all the teams playing for Manchester City, we're going to see, and agree with Luis, we're going to see how Real Madrid is going to play against Manchester City. They're going to try to defend and pray to make it work. That's going to work. But the second half, I think they had one shot on target the first half, but I think they have 7 or 8 shots on target and 4 clear chances to score. I think they tried to change and to reverse the score. They tried to attack, and they were very dangerous. It's why I like the game, because I think we had 2 different positioning in the first half and the second half from Atletico. I saw also Manchester City with 11 men trying to fight and trying to sort everything, trying to sort all the problem out from Atletico. But Atletico created something, created danger the second half, and I never seen Manchester City being so troubled for 45 minutes against any team this season.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and of course, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.